Austin hands it off as Clark's back in. She goes down, flexing that ankle.
Oh, Lee, this late in the game, you do not want to see.
Late in the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark hit the court, and instantly, every Fever fan held their breath. But this wasn't just concern, this was anger. Why? Because Caitlin's latest injury wasn't a freak accident. It was entirely avoidable. And now, the blame game is in full swing, pointed squarely at coach Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever.
Stephanie White has now got questions to answer.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the heartbeat of the WNBA right now. When she's on the floor, ratings spike, ticket sales soar, and excitement reaches levels this league has rarely seen. When she's sidelined, everything plummets. And right now, with her second injury of the season officially putting her out indefinitely, fans fear they're watching history's biggest missed opportunity unfold in real time.
Like, it's one of two things. It's either it's groin tightness and she'll be back for the Commissioner's Cup game. She's probably going to miss these next two games. Or it's a groin strain. She's out for the All-Star game. Like, it's one of those two, and there's no in between.
But let's unpack exactly how we got here, because this isn't just about one game or one unfortunate twist. It's a series of questionable decisions by the coaching staff, reckless officiating, and a systemic failure that's jeopardizing the league's brightest star. First, let's revisit the moment. Against the Seattle Storm, with just 16 seconds left and the Fever comfortably up by 8, Caitlin Clark, already visibly in discomfort, was inexplicably put back in the game. Sure, maybe she insisted, driven by her relentless competitiveness, but it's the coach's job to protect players from themselves. And that's exactly where Stephanie White dropped the ball.
Caitlin Clark clearly not looking like herself. The Indiana Fever has the game put away, yet we still put her back in the game at 45 seconds left. Caitlin Clark dealing with an injury, not looking like herself. The game is already out of hand, yet we still put her back in with 45 seconds left. How much patience do I need to have before I can start going nuclear? Because I am getting very frustrated with what I am seeing.
But fans didn't start getting angry just last night. They've seen this coming. Ever since Caitlin returned from her earlier quad injury, something hasn't been right. She's not just missing shots, she's missing them badly, going a shocking 1 for 23 from three-point range in recent games. For a player known for hitting logo range threes effortlessly, that's a red flag waving aggressively.
There's something going on. Is it the nagging quad injury? But it's something to do with the lower half of her body. It is a groin injury. Now we've got an idea of why she's struggling from long range, where it requires, some real push on three-point shots, especially the kind that she takes. And there's nothing worse than a groin injury. It will nag the shit out of you. Trust me, I've had several.
And here's the real concern. Fans believe Caitlin's been playing injured for weeks. Photos and footage from recent games show heavy wrapping around her thigh and quad. Analysts and fans alike noticed Caitlin wasn't moving naturally. She seemed cautious, hesitant, like she was compensating. And medically, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
So if you guys did not see, in this game right here, against the New York Liberty, she's doesn't have anything strapped up. And people are saying her quad was strapped up against Connecticut Sun. That is a very high strapping up for a quad.
It's basic sports science. When you play hurt, your body starts shifting pressure to other muscles and joints. The initial injury might heal, but new problems crop up rapidly. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. A quad injury became a groin injury. What's next? Every Fever fan's nightmare scenario, a devastating knee injury.
But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. And with women as well, we are more prone to knee injuries even than the men because of the angle that our hips go to our knees. So the last thing you want is her compensating or her groin not firing properly, and she goes to cut to the side, and then all of a sudden some something blows in her knee. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it. She has such a long career.
This isn't speculation. It's physiology. It's real risk management that Stephanie White and the Fever's staff appear to have ignored. Putting Caitlin Clark back in the game with seconds left up comfortably wasn't courageous. It was reckless. It was gambling with the future of the entire league.
You guys rushed her back. And within rushing her back, she re-injured that same quad. And then you rushed her back again. And then within rushing her back, she was forced to put pressure and put stress on different areas surrounding that quad. That leads us to our most recent groin injury.
Because let's not sugarcoat this. The WNBA lives and dies with Caitlin Clark. When she missed time earlier this season, ratings plunged by over 50%. Social media engagement fell off a cliff. Arenas felt emptier, and excitement disappeared overnight. Caitlin's return against the Liberty drew nearly 3 million viewers, record-breaking numbers for a regular season game. She is literally carrying the league's momentum on her shoulders.
And it's also a huge blow to the WNBA. Whether some fans like it or not, it was proven the last time that she was out with injury that the WNBA does better when she is on the court. The WNBA ratings across the league dropped by over 50% when Caitlin Clark was out with injury. And this is obviously such a crucial time and a crucial year for the league because they go into CBA negotiations at the end of the year.
So why fans are screaming, isn't she being protected? It's not just Stephanie White, though. The WNBA itself has a role in this disaster. The officiating this season has been nothing short of atrocious. Players know the refs are hesitant to blow the whistle, especially against Caitlin, leading to an endless barrage of unchecked fouls. Opponents aren't playing physical, they're playing dirty, and officials are turning a blind eye night after night. One opposing coach openly admitted it. They tell their players to push the limits, because refs rarely call fouls consistently. It's become a tactic rather than a risk. But it's Caitlin who pays the price. And that's not just unfair, it's outright dangerous.
One coach told me, we tell our players to be as physical as they can possibly be for 40 minutes because we know for 38 of them, they're pretty much going to get away with it. So I think everybody would like to see a tighter whistle and a little bit more freedom of movement. Yeah.
This level of physicality isn't toughness, it's negligence. Players across the league are getting hurt. And yet the WNBA continues to tout its rough play as part of its identity. But identity shouldn't trump safety, especially not for the player single-handedly driving the league's resurgence.
I just wonder if she's playing through a little more pain than she should. I mean, look what happened to Tyrese Halliburton in the NBA Finals game when he tore his Achilles heel. He had also mentioned having some pain there, and this was like the pinnacle of his career. So he attempted to play through that, and at the very end, he went down.
Another overlooked angle, Caitlin's intense off-season training. She bulked up significantly, not for vanity, but survival. Last season's beating forced her to transform physically just to endure the nightly battering. But rapid muscle gain, especially in your legs and core, can lead to mechanical imbalances, altering your stride, shot mechanics, and increasing injury risks. In other words, Caitlin had to become stronger because the league wouldn't protect her. And now, ironically, that very strength is putting her at further risk.
But it does make me wonder if a player like SGA can get all these fouls called, maybe the refs should call them similarly for Caitlin. Because if the players defending Clark know that they're going to get a whistle every time they hand check her or cover her physically, they will probably do it a lot less. And I get it, you're trying to neutralize this player, but you know, we've entered the realm of player safety here, and Caitlin Clark, who has now gone out for a third time, so I think that this needs to be reassessed.
Fans aren't demanding special treatment. They're demanding respect and enforcement of basic rules. When players blatantly foul Caitlin without consequence, the league loses credibility. When refs refuse to protect stars, players inevitably get hurt. And when the biggest star goes down repeatedly, everyone loses. Fans, players, coaches, sponsors, and the league itself. It's also critical to highlight the emotional toll this takes on Caitlin. Every athlete knows injuries are part of the game, but repetitive setbacks, especially when preventable, drain mental resilience. Caitlin's competitiveness drives her, but pushing through repeated injuries can lead to deeper, long-term physical and psychological impacts. The league's brightest star shouldn't have to choose between her health and her passion.
About this groin injury and how much of an absence do you expect from her beyond today?
Yeah, late last night. I think it's very much a day-to-day thing, how she responds to treatment. I stay in my lane and let our
Who gives a shit how she responds to treatment? Keep her out for a week. Keep her out for a week or two. Let's make sure she's healthy. 110%, 150%.
There's also the financial aspect that can't be ignored. Each missed game doesn't just impact Caitlin. It hits the entire WNBA's revenue stream. Major sponsors count on marquee players to attract viewers, sell merchandise, and elevate brand visibility. Without Caitlin Clark on the court, advertising contracts can suffer. Deals can dissolve, and ultimately the league's negotiating power in critical CBA discussions weakens significantly.
Caitlin Clark deserves better. She deserves protection, not preferential treatment, but respect and accountability. It's on the Fever, on Coach White, and on the WNBA leadership to step up now before it's too late. This latest injury isn't just another setback, it's a wake-up call. And if the league doesn't answer it immediately, they risk losing not just Caitlin Clark, but their entire future. If you're still here, drop a basketball emoji in the comments to show support for Caitlin, and make sure you subscribe for updates as we continue covering this critical story.